With hundreds of overdoses and dozens of heroin deaths now in the last 5 years, the head of the Pulaski County Ambulance District says tonight a life-saving drug should be more widely available in our state. Hello again, I'm David Oliver.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Jennifer Kilman in an ongoing series about the heroin problem plaguing Pulaski County and what the community is doing to fight back. Color 10's Lori Patton has the story of one father's crusade.
Pulaski County Chief Paramedic Gary Carmack lost his son to heroin last fall. Carmack says wider availability of a safe-to-administer, non-addictive drug can keep heroin from claiming lives. Carmack has started a group called the Lime Tree after his son's favorite song. Their first order of business is to get lawmakers' attention. Pulaski County Chief Paramedic Gary Carmack has made a living saving lives.
I went to paramedic school at the University of Missouri-Columbia.
As a father, he's helped bring life into the world.
James Aaron Carmack was born in July of 1988. Very wonderful, bright, beautiful young man. And
James is the youngest of Carmack's children.
He actually had a nickname as Gentle Giant.
Carmack says James loved history and anthropology, but in his teens, he started experimenting.
In middle school, he possibly started using some pots. For some reason, he decided to try some OxyContin, which is an opiate narcotic. They got very expensive and hard to get.
Then James upped the ante.
Some things kept coming up missing, and I couldn't quite figure it out. And then finally found some paraphernalia one day. And heroin, for all the parents and family out there, is very cheap and very easy to get. And I asked him why. And he, like so many of our youth, thought he could just do it once, see what it's all about, and not go back.
The man who spent decades saving people from the brink felt helpless as James risked his life over and over again. In 2013, heroin ultimately took James.
He just had his 25th birthday in July and died in September.
Gary says heroin's sedative effect is what takes so many lives.
What heroin does in opiates, they put your brain to sleep, and so you just forget to breathe. And your blood pressure drops and your heart rate drops. And if that goes on long enough, you die.
Hardest of all for Gary, in his kit for the decades he's been a paramedic, a little pink box.
We carry a drug, Naloxone, which is commonly called Narcan. And I've used this medication. We have it in our drug box. I've used it since the 70s as a paramedic. Never dreamed it would be thinking about it with my child. It fills the receptor site where the opiate is at.
Bringing the heroin user back to life.
It reverses the opiate, the narcotic effects, so the brain can wake up and you can start to breathe again.
Carmack says while the drug is available to emergency responders, he thinks it should be available to the public as well. He thinks it will help save more lives. Carmack, along with James's best friend Tiffany Addington, want other addicts to have a chance to survive the drug.
We would like to see Narcan available for at-risk families, at-risk people. We would like to see it on police cars, fire engines. It's a very safe drug. We probably use Narcan weekly, sometimes even daily. If you're not like us, a paramedic, where you give it IV, you can give it intranasally, very safe.
In more than a dozen states across the nation, Narcan is available for third-party prescriptions, but not in Missouri.
It's something that needs to change. I truly believe that will save a lot of lives.
Addington cites a 2010 CDC release that credits Narcan with saving more than 10,000 lives since 1996. The truth is, Narcan would have helped James only if.
Only if someone would have been there, but no, he died alone in the middle of the night. But there are so many cases I see as a paramedic where we have people that don't get Narcan soon enough, or they hesitate before they call us.
Carmack and Addington are taking their push to legislators. Tiffany says it's a way to give James Carmack a second life and other addicts a chance to beat heroin.
It's something that means a lot to me. As I've said, James is my best friend, and he had told me in one of our last conversations that he wanted to change the world and that he truly felt he could do that. And so my hope is that I can do that for him through this program.
In addition to pushing for wider availability of Narcan, both Carmack and Addington would like to see a Good Samaritan law in Missouri. In the second part of our series on this heroin issue, we told you about a young woman who was left to die of a heroin overdose in a parking lot. Under a Good Samaritan law, the people she was with could have called police without fear of being arrested. Washington, California, Illinois, and 11 other states have drug overdose Good Samaritan laws.